one that's national is this Misinformation and Disinformation Bill. You guys have been very outspoken. I mean, in fact, you're sort of calling to bin the bill, so you're wanting to scrap it entirely. Where are things at with that at the moment?
Yeah, well, we've currently got a petition going saying bin the bill, and this really is a dangerous draft bill. And now I've met with Minister Michelle Rowland, the communications minister who's over this bill, and she assures me it's going to be amended. But still, it is very concerning that it will threaten the ability of Christians to be able to say what they want to say online. And we know that the things that we're currently saying in terms of questioning the gender issues, even putting things online about abortion, that this could be construed as harmful, even though it's not. We say these things out of compassion and not because we hate, but because we really care for society and we care for those that are impacted by it. And so the issue with this bill is that it's so broad. The definition of misinformation is it the definition says it's anything that is reasonably likely to cause or contribute to serious harm. And it mentions things like health, which could be about abortion, but also the LGBTQ community, which could be about questioning same-sex or gender matters online. But it puts the power in the hands of the digital platforms themselves to censor it. And if they don't, then they get threatened with serious fines. And so to avoid the risk of being fined, they're likely to over-censor. And so this really is a serious threat for our ability just to post these things out of the compassion of our hearts online, to see these things continuously censored. And they already are to an extent. We're already seeing the inability to post online, Facebook, Meta taking posts off. And so this will just make the matters even worse. And it puts the power in the hands of ACMA, which is the Australian Communications Media Authority, who are the ones that will develop this code that the digital platforms will be responsible to enforce. That's why this is a really bad idea.
Absolutely. Well, it's, I guess, encouraging to hear the government minister saying that they're going to amend or review things there. What sort of indications are you getting that may happen, and are you sort of hoping to have a bit of a part to play in that, to sort of actually give some direction or some ideas as to how it could be amended if it does go, rather than being binned, obviously?
Yes, I mean, if it does have to be a bill, we would obviously want it to be significantly amended. And I asked Minister Michelle Rowland if we could have input into what these amendments could be, and she agreed. So our team will be working with the Department of Communications to ensure that the amendments are those that will, make it able for Christians to continue to post what they want to post online without it being restricted. She says that the bill's intent is to limit foreign interference and things that do threaten our democracy. From our research and analysis, these sorts of security measures are already covered in other pieces of legislation. So that's why we're saying this bill isn't even necessary. But if they really do want to go ahead with it, then we have to ensure that Christians are able to continue to post, and that amendments are in place to protect Christians when it comes to posting about things that are controversial, things that our culture is moving away from, so that we can continue to have a voice through this very powerful means of social media.
Yes, so true. And I guess it's just a matter of trying to ensure that public debate can continue, because the way it would appear, it's just basically going to be shutting down any form of debate or disagreement.
Yeah, that's right. And our stance is that information should be combated by other information. And that's what a healthy debate is. If there's something that's potentially misleading, then somebody else put a post up and have a debate. And we know that Facebook is fantastic at allowing these debates. People are always having opinions. But that's what freedom of expression is, our ability just to post these things. And me personally, I don't like to enter into Facebook debates. I'd much rather speak to a person. However, that's the reality of a free society that we're in. It's actually healthy. It's part of our healthy democracy to put our views online, to have them questioned, to be able to come back. That's what debate is all about. Yeah, so true. So a reminder that our phone lines are open. If you've got a question or a comment for Michelle today, we'd love to hear from you on 1800 316 316. We've got news coming up in about a minute, but after the news, we'll take some calls from you on 1800 316 316. Just quickly before the news, Michelle, this bill that's been proposed for Australia, has there been other examples around the world where other nations have taken something like this, and what have you seen from that? The UK has a similar bill with a similar purpose of limiting the foreign interference and especially limiting the ability to cite hate online or encourage hatred. It's actually a much better bill in the UK, and we're encouraging we're encouraging Minister Michelle Rowland to look at this bill and do something similar in Australia, and we think that will achieve what we want in Australia, what the department wants, without affecting the ability of Christians to post online.
Okay.